Hello and welcome. Today's class is all about shifting energy. So perhaps you've had a really stressful week or you're just not really feeling yourself. This is a great class to make you feel more positive again and bring you back into alignment. So we will get started in a standing position. Taking feet a little bit wider than hip width and taking some nice big shoulder rolls going backwards. Really exaggerating the movement. And then shrugging them forwards. And then finding some standing twists. Just allowing the hands to land on the body. And then interlacing the fingers, pushing the palms up towards the sky, shrugging shoulders up to the ears. We'll inhale here and then exhale, finding a side bend. So feeling the ribs open up down to the side of the waist. And then coming back to center. Nice big inhale here and exhale, taking it the other way. And then coming back to center, release hands, walking the feet a bit wider. We'll take a nice big inhale, reaching high, and then exhale through the mouth, pushing that energy down. Inhale through the nose, gathering that energy, and exhale. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, really filling up the lungs and letting everything go. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. And final one, making it your biggest, fullest inhale and release. And then coming up and just wiping the energy off. And giving the hands a shake. You can shake one ankle. And then changing sides. And then taking the feet nice and wide again. We'll take a deep bend into the right knee. Bring left hand to the inside of the ankle and reach high with the right fingers. Taking the eye gaze up. Really trying to anchor the outside of that left foot. And then taking the hands across to the other side, turning left toes out, right hand to the inside of the ankle and reaching the left fingers to the sky. And really feeling that through the inner thigh. And then hands travel across to the other side again. Bending into that right knee, extending right hand to sky. And then right hand floats down. We'll come onto the ball of the back foot as we turn the right toes to the top of the mat. Finding easy twists, so left hand to the mat, Right hand extends, lifting that back knee, keeping that leg nice and strong. And then drop the back knee. We'll sweep the hands forwards as we inhale, finding a prayer. And then exhale, dropping the prayer between the shoulder blades, squeezing the elbows, lift the eye gaze. Just breathing here, feeling that through the back hip flexor. And then taking the prayer to sky. Left hand floats down, right hand up. Tucking the back toes, lift the back knee, finding an easy twist. Back leg is strong. And then dropping the back knee, right arm travels back, finds the back of the left thigh, and left arm sweeps overhead. So we're finding reverse lunge. Lifting through the heart. And then windmill the arms forwards. And again, lifting the back knee, turning towards the long end of the mat, and then walking across to the other side. And then right hand comes to the mat, left hand sweeps high, grounding the outside edge of that right foot. And then sweeping that left arm down, coming onto the ball of the back foot, turning left toes to the top of the mat and finding easy twist. So right hand to mat, left hand high, lifting the back knee, eye gaze up. And then drop the back knee, left hand sweeps down, and then inhale as we sweep the hands forwards, finding a prayer. And then exhale as we drop the prayer between the shoulder blades, squeezing the elbows towards each other. And then inhale as the prayer travels up again. Exhale as the right hand comes down, lifting the back knee, find easy twist. And then dropping the back knee, left arm sweeps back, finds the back of the right thigh, and right arm sweeps to the sky. Reverse low lunge. And then windmilling the arms forwards, lift the back knee, walking the hands to the center, and then slowly dragging the hands up and finding goddess pose. And then just beginning to bend into the knee, lengthening opposite leg, and just shifting weight left to right. And then finding the center. And then really drawing the knees open, so squeezing the glutes and finding goddess pose. Feeling the thighs firing up. Slowing down the breath. And then taking the hands onto the knees, and we'll take some shoulder dips. So inhale at the center, exhale, dipping the shoulder, taking the eye gaze behind. Inhale to center, exhale, taking it the other way. Inhale to center, exhale, dip the shoulder. And one more time, inhale to center, and exhale, taking the eye gaze all the way around. And then coming back to center, turning the toes in so feet are parallel to each other. We'll lengthen the legs, sweep the hands behind, interlace fingers, draw shoulder blades together, heels of the hands together. Inhale as we lift through the heart. And then exhale, fold forwards, taking hands overhead. Keeping legs nice and strong. Lifting the kneecaps. And then release the hands, bringing them onto the mat in front of you. Inhale as we lift the eye gaze. Exhale, emptying the lungs. Hands to waist. Inhale, bend the knees, rolling all the way to standing. And then exhale, bringing the feet together. And then finding your way to the top of the mat, feet are hip width apart. We'll inhale as we reach high with the fingers. And then exhale, fold forwards, interlace hands, bringing them over the head. Inhale as we begin to hinge at the waist, sweeping the hands up. Taking the eye gaze up, and then exhale, sweeping forwards, interlace hands overhead. Beginning to hinge at the hips. Inhale, sweeping hands high. Taking a little back bend, eye gaze up. And then exhale, folding forwards, taking hands overhead. And one more time, inhale, as we come all the way to standing. And exhale, release, diving forwards. And then just releasing the hands and finding a forward fold. So taking hold of opposite elbows and just swaying left to right. Lengthening down the back of the neck. And then wrapping the peace fingers around the big toes. We'll inhale as we lift the eye gaze. And then exhale, fold forwards, elbows out to the sides. Lifting the knees, squeezing the thighs. Drawing belly towards the legs. And then bending the knees, looking forwards, we'll inhale here. And then threading the palms underneath the feet, we'll exhale and dive forwards. And then lifting the eye gaze, removing the hands, and then super slowly rolling all the way to standing. Allowing the arms to hang heavy. And then bringing head and neck up last. Rolling the shoulders down the back as we come up, palms facing forwards. And just taking a few breaths here into Tadasana just to regulate. And then beginning to shift the weight into the right foot. We'll draw the left knee in towards the body, squeezing it in. And then drawing the knee open. Feeling that through the inner thigh. And then slowly under control, sweeping that left leg behind you and finding warrior three. Taking hands to heart center. Really pointing that toe behind you, squeezing the glute. And then slowly taking a step to the back of your mat and finding a high lunge, reaching hands towards the sky, lifting through the heart space, sending that heel towards the back of the mat. And just breathing here. And then sweeping the hands behind, interlacing behind the back, drawing the heels of the hands together, the shoulder blades together. We'll lift the eye gaze as we inhale, and then exhale, finding humble warrior. Just taking it as low as you would like. Breathing here. And then inhale to bring you all the way back up. Releasing the hands and sweeping them to the sky. Finding high lunge. Breathing here. And then opening to find warrior two. So grounding through the back edge of that back foot, drawing this front knee open. Shoulders are relaxed, lifting through the wrists. Eye gaze to that right middle finger. Navel draws to spine. And then we'll inhale, hands to sky, extending that front leg. And exhale back to find warrior two. Inhale as we fly the warrior. Exhale. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale up. And exhale. And then right elbow finds right thigh. Left arm sweeps in line with the ear. Extended side angle. Eye gaze to that right middle finger. Sorry, left middle finger. An option to take it lower. And then slowly extending that front leg. Taking left arm to sky and finding Trikonasana. Keeping legs strong, eye gaze up. And then wimbling hands forwards, coming either side of the front foot, coming onto the ball of the back foot and then lengthening that front leg, finding pyramid pose. So trying to squat the hips to the top of the mat. Again, squeezing that front thigh. Being mindful not to overextend that knee. And then taking a deep bend into the front knee and slowly drawing the back leg in to join the front. Finding a forward fold at the top of your mat again. And then releasing the arms towards the floor and slowly rolling all the way to standing. Head and neck come last. And then rolling the shoulders down the back, palms facing forwards. Taking a couple of breaths here into Tadasana before we repeat on the other side. And then beginning to shift the weight into the left foot, drawing the right knee in towards the chest, squeezing it in towards the body. Lifting the pelvic floor, so lifting the energy. And then drawing that right knee open. Feeling that through the inner thigh. And then slowly under control, that right leg sweeps behind as we find our warrior three, hands at heart center. Again, really pointing that back toe, squeezing the glute to lift that leg high. And then taking a big step to the back of the mat and finding your high lunge, reaching high. Lifting the eye gaze, send that back heel towards the mat. Just breathing here. And then sweeping the hands behind, interlacing the fingers, drawing heels together, shoulder blades together. Inhale as we lift the eye gaze, and then exhales, diving the chest forwards, finding humble warrior. Hands travel overhead. And then inhale to bring you back up, releasing the hands, sweeping them forwards. Coming back to find your high lunge. And then exhale, open to warrior two. So grounding through the back edge of that back foot, drawing this left knee open. Shoulders are relaxed, lifting through the wrist. Eye gaze to that left middle finger. Navel to spine. Nice strong warrior. And then we'll fly the warrior. So inhale as we flip the palms, reach high, extend that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale. Inhale, creating length through the body. Exhale here. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then left elbow finds left thigh. Right arm sweeps in line with the right ear. Eye gaze to that right middle finger. Option to take it lower. Keeping the chest nice and open to the side wall. And then slowly lengthening that front leg, right fingers to sky, bringing the back of the left hand to the inside of that leg, Trikonasana. Eye gaze up. And then bending into that front knee, we'll windmill the arms forwards, coming either side of that front foot, hopping onto the ball of the back foot and extending the front leg, pyramid pose. Trying to square the hips to the top of the mat. And then lifting the eye gaze, taking a deep bend into that front knee and drawing the back leg in towards the front. And then just rolling all the way to standing. And then we'll come into a balance. So we will root down through the left foot and draw the right knee in towards the chest. Oop. And just starting off here, so finding our balance, drawing navel to spine. And then taking hold of the big toe with the peace fingers and beginning to extend that leg. Taking hand onto the waist. Doesn't matter if there's quite a deep bend in the knee. You can also do this holding onto the knee. And then taking that foot open or the knee open. And finding your drishti, so finding a fixed point to gaze at. That will really help with your balance. And then drawing leg back to center. And then release. Giving a shake of that leg if you need to. And then we'll change sides, so rooting down through the right foot. Drawing the left knee in. Finding your balance. Slowing down the breath. And either staying as you are or taking hold of the big toe and beginning to extend that leg. And then opening. And taking that leg back to center. And then releasing. Again, giving that supporting leg a shake. And then walking the feet nice and wide again. And just bringing some gentle movement into the hips. Just slowly lengthening one leg. And then the other. And then bringing the hands onto the floor and finding Skandasana. So coming onto the heel of the extended leg. either keeping the hands down or finding prayer at the heart center. And we should really feel that through the inner thigh. Making sure we're lifting the energy, so lifting the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha. And then bringing the hands down and walking across the other way. Again, coming onto the heel, drawing toes towards you. Lifting or engaging Mula Bandha. And then bringing the hands down, I'm going to bring the right hand behind me and just helping myself to sit down. And then we're bringing the left sole of the foot to the inside of that right leg. We'll turn over the extended leg and fold forwards. So finding Janu Shasana. And leading forwards with the chest. Keep the spine nice and long. Eye gaze to that right big toe. And then coming up, placing the left sole of the foot onto the mat, reaching forward with the left arm, sweeping it around and seeing if you can take the bind. So we're in Marachasana. Again, we're lengthening forwards with the spine. And then releasing, coming all the way up, and then extending left leg, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of that leg, letting knee drop open, and then folding forwards, taking hold of wherever you can reach. And then coming up, placing the sole of the right foot down. We'll reach forwards with the right arm, sweeping it around and seeing if you can take the bind again. And then folding forwards, eye gaze to that left big toe. Really squeezing that right thigh in towards the body or the shin. And then coming up and finding Navasana. So either shins parallel to the mat or extending the legs. Really drawing navel to spine, keeping the core nice and strong. And allowing the breath to carry you through. and then bringing the feet down, extending the legs and finding a forward fold. Just allowing the back to round, dropping chin to chest. And just making it a nice passive forward fold. So relaxing each of your muscles. Seeing if with each exhale you can soften a little bit more. And then slowly coming up. We'll place the soles of the feet onto the mat, shift the bottom forwards, and then just taking hold of the back of the thighs and slowly rolling all the way down onto the back. Drawing ease in towards the chest and just rocking left to right. And then drawing nice big circles with the knees, so taking them apart and then bringing them back together. And then taking them back the other way. And then placing the soles of the feet down, we'll bring the right ankle onto the left thigh, drawing the toes back towards the shin, and just using your right hand, easing that thigh away from you. Just gently working your way into this stretch. Being mindful that there's no knee pain. And then reaching the arms through the legs, taking hold of the back of the left thigh or the left shin, and then bringing the head back down, drawing the legs towards you. And then releasing the legs, allowing that left sole to float back onto the mat. We'll draw that right leg over the left, so we're crossing the knees. And then dropping both legs over to the left, taking the eye gaze to the right, palms facing up. And slowly drawing knees back to center, uncrossing the legs. And then this time bringing the left ankle onto the right thigh, Drawing toes towards the shin and then just easing that thigh away from you. And then reaching arms through the legs, taking hold of the back of the right thigh or the shin, and then drawing legs towards you. And then releasing the legs, right sole comes back onto the mat, and then drawing that left leg across the right, dropping both legs towards the right, eye gaze to the left. And then drawing knees back to center, uncrossing the legs, and then taking the legs up towards the sky. Just allowing the blood, the circulation to drain back down. You can take the legs up against the wall. And either staying as you are or finding plow pose. So placing the palms facing down and then slowly taking legs over the head. Making sure we're not turning the head when we're taking any weight in the neck. And dropping the toes behind you. Coming onto the toenails. And then getting ready to come out of plow pose. We're keeping the palms connected to the mat, fingers are spread. Bringing the thumbs so they're just about touching, and then slowly bringing the legs back down under control. And then bringing this heels back onto the mat. And then pushing into the elbows to bring you up and finding fish pose. So walking the elbows towards each other underneath the back. And then coming onto the crown of the head if that's comfortable. The weight should be in your elbows, not in your head. And the option to lift the feet, so extending the legs. And then bringing the feet back onto the mat, lifting the head, coming back down onto the back of the head, and then removing the arms. And then just bringing knees in towards the chest again. And then bringing the left sole of the foot onto the mat, extending the right leg up towards the sky, taking hold of the back of the leg, and then the option to lengthen that leg. And just alternating between pointing and flexing that right ankle. And then drawing knee in towards the chest, squeezing it in towards the body. And then finding a half happy baby. So the right arm comes to the inside of that leg, takes hold of the outside of the foot, and we're drawing that right knee down towards the mat. Sole of the foot to the sky. And then releasing that foot, bringing the right foot onto the mat, and then extending the left leg to the sky, taking hold of the back of the leg, and again pointing and flexing. And the option to extend that right leg along the mat. And then drawing that left knee in towards the chest. And then finding half happy baby, taking hold of the outside of the foot, sole of the foot to the sky. And then releasing that foot and bringing the soles of the feet together, letting knees drop wide and taking hold of opposite elbows above the head. Just allowing the body to soften. So we're not gripping through the hands. We're not squeezing through the inner thigh. We're just allowing the body to gently open. Just allowing the breath to regulate. The nervous system to calm. And then just slowly beginning to lengthen the legs along the mat. Taking feet wide and allowing toes to drop open. And then releasing the elbows. Taking a nice big stretch with the arms. And then drawing them down towards the sides, palms facing up, and finding Shavasana. Grabbing any extra layers you might need. And then just wriggling the shoulders away from the ears. Releasing any tension through the forearms, the palms of the hands. Softening the space between the eyebrows. Releasing any tension through the jaw. Allowing the lips to part. Softening through the belly. Releasing any tension through the pelvis. The thighs. And giving the fingers and toes a wriggle. And just allowing the body to feel heavier and heavier with each exhale. Enjoying a few more moments of stillness. And taking your awareness to the breath coming in and out through the nose. And taking your awareness to the rise and fall of your chest. And taking your awareness to the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. And taking your awareness to the sounds that you can hear around you. And taking slightly deeper breaths now. Drawing more prana into the body with each inhale. Bringing gentle movement into the fingers and the toes, the ankles and the wrists. And then taking a full body stretch, interlacing fingers, pushing palms away, pointing the toes. And then slowly rolling onto one side and pausing there for a few breaths. And slowly, when you're ready, coming up to find a seated position. Keeping the eye gaze down or the eyes closed. We'll inhale as we draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale as they travel back and all the way down. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulder blades together, drawing them down. And one more time, inhale up and exhale. We'll take a nice big inhale here. And then taking the right hand onto the left knee, exhale as we twist towards the back. Taking the eye gaze all the way around. Coming back to center, left hand onto right knee, inhale here. And exhale, taking it all the way. And then coming back to center and just shaking the hands, releasing any last residual energy that's not serving us. And then bringing hands to heart center. We'll take a nice big inhale through the nose. And find an Om. Bowing the head. And then slowly coming back into the room. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you feel more balanced and a bit more positive. I will see you again soon.